If you combine boxing, wrestling, martial arts and a fighting cage called the Octagon, put it all together and seconds away you have the UFC. It's the ultimate fighting championship and it's just clinched a $4 billion sale. It's the biggest ever in professional sports, a staggering knockout for the casino operators Lorenzo and Frank Fertitta, who bought the controversial franchise for only $2 million in 2001. Phoenix Carnevale is a martial artist and fight commentator, and she joins me now. Now, listen, $4 billion. I mean, I don't think maybe I'm just alone in this thing in the sense of, one didn't realise that UFC was that big and would command that much money. Even you must have been a little bit surprised.
I don't know. I've been on board for about 15 years since it started, so I've watched this become the fastest growing sport in the world. And I believe that the UFC and mixed martial arts are the biggest thing to happen to martial arts and pop culture since Bruce Lee. So this has been rumored, this has been talked about, it's been denied, but today it was confirmed that the UFC was purchased by WME-ING, the biggest juggernaut in media, and we're thrilled. We're thrilled. It's important to know that they're not the sole owners, though. No,
there are two others that are there, and that. But what does WME-ING? What will they bring to it? The Fertitta brothers are giving up, if you like. How do the new owners advance the cause of a sport that is clearly so popular already?
Well, when they bought it to begin with, when the Fertittas bought it to begin with, they took it as far as they could go. And then they did the Fox deal, and that was huge, because then it was on a major network. And now with WME-ING, they're involved with everything. They're the media juggernaut, so that's publishing and that's movies, and they already represent Ronda Rousey, so they've put them way involved. It's way bigger in the entertainment front than anything else. So I think the Fertittas took it as far as they could take it, and we know that a lot of the partners here are also big into technology, and we know how huge technology is. So it's just bigger and better things all around.
And that's fascinating because clearly, the plan to take something that's very successful, very profitable, and churns out a shed loads of money, and then turbo boost it with the power of an IMG, it's almost frightening.
Well, yes. I mean, a lot of these are tech companies as well. We introduced something called Fight Pass maybe about 1.5 to 2 years ago, and that was very successful, and that's digital media platforms, so we know that's going. And then we've had crossover. Think about Ronda Rousey being in the Entourage movies and things like that, and then all of these books that are being written by fighters. So this really could mean a lot of big things for it becoming much more of a household name. Okay, now finally, and hand on heart, and with a dose of sort of looking back in the rearview briefly, are you a little bit sad that, that it's become so big, but you remember it for what it was and when it began and the fighting spirit that took it where it is? Well, there's the thing that I think upsets some of the purists the most is we're afraid that it's becoming too much entertainment and not so much sports and martial arts. As long as there's good fights with well-deserving fighters and that it's not so much about the storyline, but the story about good competition, I think we'll be okay. And we'll be proud that these fighters might have the opportunity to make more money. I just hope that it doesn't become too much about storylines.
Couldn't have put it better myself. A good fight with two well-matched fighters going at it, ding-dong, and it'll all be great. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Well,